heaps of people were kind of like, that's a really cool idea. You should make a thing of it. So one day I sat down at home with a beer and I just sat there. I bought Dogecoin.com. That's a bit funny. And I slapped the Doge face onto a coin and just put it live. And I wake up the next day to heaps of retweets. And my co-founder, who's based up in Portland, had messaged me and said, hey, I found that you can change I forked the Bitcoin source code or the Litecoin source code, and you can change the font to Comic Sans. I'm like, ooh, okay, we got to do this. Like, that's hilarious.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual
Bitcoin has now almost overtaken
all-time high this week of $900. Now, at its peak, if you had have invested $1,000 a year,
Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Friday afternoon, and this is the Friday before big holiday weekend. And I know a lot of you have other things to do, but do appreciate you hanging out with me here as we're going to talk about Dogecoin, crypto, and other things going on. Again, this is money-making opportunities here. We're talking about money-making opportunities. And when was the right time to get in is now still a good time to get in, because big things are happening from now, from the end of the year, and then in 2024, looking ahead, I think it's going to be monumental. I'm just about all deployed, got a little bit on the sideline, not much left, because I'm all in. I'm all in on crypto. So I hope you are all well and ready for life-changing money. It could be for some of you, depending on what happens. I know not everybody can have as much money in as everybody else, but you put in what you can, but you're willing to risk, because it is, again, it's cryptocurrency, and there still are a few dark clouds out there with Elizabeth Warren and this anti-crypto regulation stuff that she's talking about that, I don't know, just there's just these little hints, but we'll talk about a little bit of that as well as we get into it. So let me drop down here in the corner, and we're going to look at the charts at Doge, 9.4 cents, trying to get up back to 9.5, which is the local high here that we had earlier this afternoon. If we can get above that, we'll be looking at 9.55. If we get above that, yesterday at 9.75 would be here. So a couple of days ago when I was doing live stream, we had Doge just rocketing up. And what do we have today? As soon as I get on, we get a green candle here. So yeah, good luck for me, right? I hope you all realize what I'm doing here for Dogecoin's price, because it just happens. Just happens every time I'm streaming. We get these green candles, which is awesome. I'll take it. I'll take it. What else do we have going on? Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin's just kind of hanging out, going sideways. Accumulation, some may call it. We don't see any big dips, though. There's no big dips happening because, for the most part, people are not selling their crypto. They're not. It's all in anticipation of what's coming. People aren't selling. Yeah, there's some bot trading and people trying to scalp here and there. That happens. There's also still some people doing leverage. And I don't know, leveraged longs getting liquidated and then shorts getting liquidated back and forth. Not the huge amounts that we saw the past couple weeks, but enough that it's just like, what are you guys doing? So there's that. And then there's my Algorand. Very happy about that, up to 24 cents. It is just taken off. And in one of my main portfolios, Algorand has actually flipped Doge. Now, I've got Doge in a bunch of different places, but in my main long-term hold, because of this big move for Algorand, it's now got more value than Dogecoin. Unbelievable. Just came from out of nowhere, but very proud of that. And we'll talk about some other coins as well. Any that you want to talk about, we'll be glad to look at those charts and talk about as well. But here we are. Here I am on X Twitter, and I am posting, tweeting out Christmas Doges for everybody. So well wishes to everyone leading up to Christmas. I do have a video coming out tomorrow. Hopefully I can get it together about portfolio building, because again, we want to make sure you're ready for the big bull run, and where should you be putting your money if you're investing in cryptocurrency now, because I already told you when you should have been investing, right? And that's when we were making this portfolio, the Kriss Pax portfolio that we were making July, August, and September. We were making this portfolio, and this portfolio now is up 56%. That's 56% in just 4 months. That's it. 56% in just 4 months with this portfolio. And you guys were here along the way if you were watching me over the summer, because we were buying a lot of this crypto live on live stream. And it's up 56%. I mean, just look at these gains. Dogecoin, 52%. Bitcoin, 61%. And look at Algorand. The Algorand we bought into this portfolio is now up 137%. And Render, 203%. ETH 41, Jasmy 74, and even Matic is up 41% from where we were buying these at all these low prices, because that is where I was seeing the bottom of the bear market for altcoins. Now, the Bitcoin we bought was at 26K. You know, that wasn't the bottom, because the bottom for Bitcoin was a year ago when you could have gotten Bitcoin for like 16K. But hey, Toss, how are you? And here's the Render that Toss said, hey, you need to add some Render to this portfolio, and it's up 200%. Should have bought more Render, right? But it's just to show you that timing is everything. And I was willing to put $10,000 of my money on the line in this portfolio because I had a conviction and I knew what was going to happen, what was coming. And that's why we did it. And I'm going to share this portfolio with you guys. Well, for Toss, because he is a member of the channel. And anybody else whose name is in green in the chat is a member of the Kriss Pax channel and will be receiving Dogecoin from this wallet that all of these coins are in on Coinbase. When we eventually sell, we're going to sell all the other coins, right? And the Dogecoin, the 75,000 Dogecoin, is going to be sent out. Now, I need to keep some of it because I got to pay taxes, right? I'm going to pay taxes on the gains for all of this stuff that we sell. And the rest is going to you guys. But to do that and to receive Dogecoin from me, hopefully we hit it right at the top of the bull market, you got to join. Got to join the channel. Now, I appreciate subscriptions. Subscribe to the channel. Always appreciate that. But joining the channel, that is what will enable you to receive Dogecoin from me at the top of the bull market. That's what we're waiting for. So take a look at that. Join the channel. Have fun. Also, give a like. Certainly appreciate the likes because we can't get more people coming in talking about Dogecoin here and some real important things that have been going on with Doge. Number one is, well, we had this X Spaces yesterday with Cathie Wood of ARK Invest and Elon Musk. Kathy and a couple people from her team were asking Elon questions. They covered a lot of Tesla because Kathy Wood's her not really mutual funds, right? That she has, but all of her company's holdings, they're in these different blocks of company or types of companies. And she owns a lot of Tesla in that, a lot of Tesla stock. It was interesting hearing Elon discuss the difference between having a public company like Tesla, where you have stock that's available to purchase on exchanges, and then private companies like SpaceX, where there's not as much regulatory oversight with SpaceX, and he's probably just going to keep that private. I don't think he's going to take SpaceX public. But who knows in the future, anything can happen. But with Tesla, yeah, I think the one main advantage of having a public company is that we, the users of those products, can have a share in the profits of the company by owning stock in that company. And he didn't say that. And that was the one thing that I thought was really important, was that we hold stock and then we have more of an allegiance to that company by holding stock in that company. So he didn't talk about that. But there was a question about payments. And Kathy brought it up, talking about financial systems, et cetera. Talked a little bit about Elon's past with PayPal, that he knows online payment transfers, how it all works, and what's going to happen with X payments. And it was interesting. Elon said that they now have over half of the United States transmitter licenses in place. So not many left to go. He said California and New York are going to be the big ones, but it was all inevitable. I mean, Kathy Wood asked, like, do you see any problems of not being able to get them? And Elon pretty much said no. Didn't see any problems with that, and said that by the middle of next year, there would be payment services on X Twitter fully launched by the middle of next year. Now, we were thinking maybe in the fall, but Elon has brought that up a little bit. So that was exciting news. Brings it up forward to the summertime, which is awesome. And then Kathy was trying to get in a little bit about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And Elon in my opinion, Alex, I was listening to the whole thing, it was very interesting, but Elon just didn't want to talk about Bitcoin. He really didn't. I could just tell the way he was answering the questions. He just didn't really want to talk about it. And he ended up saying that he doesn't spend a lot of time thinking about cryptocurrency. That's what Elon said. And it was just like, that wasn't great. But thinking about it later, I was like, well, is Elon faking us out? So that's the title of this of the show today, is Elon faking us out? Does he just not want to talk about it because he's really planning something and possibly something big? That's what I think. That's what a lot of other people think too, that he just didn't want to get into it with Kathy Wood yesterday, that it's going to come. So he said this, and that kind of shut up Kathy then like pivoted back to Tesla or something. And because it was obvious, I mean, she got it too, that's like Elon doesn't want to go there. So that was my take on it. Toss says that Elon shot Kathy down quickly when she asked about Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what I got too. Was just like Elon just did not want to talk about it, right? So that's what I got out of it too. But well, X payments on the platform. One of them is Dogecoin payments. Is Dogecoin going to be used on X Twitter? And I've talked about this before, that X could have Dogecoin. for payments. The payments could be a number of different things. They could be to creators, because creators now, if you have so much of a following and meet some criteria, you can actually make money on Twitter, Twitter, right? And they give out payments like twice a month, and some of the creators actually post how much money they're making, right? Anywhere from hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars every 2 weeks just by posting on Twitter all the time. Good for them. But in the United States, you're getting paid in US dollars. Elon many, many times has said he does not like the banking system. He doesn't like the banking system. Wouldn't it be great if instead of paying that out in dollars, he was paying that out in Dogecoin? And that's what Alex Lewis says. Now, I posted this interview with Alex Lewis here the other day, and I invite you guys to listen to this, because this is really a great interview overall about Dogecoin, but he gets into Dogecoin as payments, and Alex is the one who coded and made the app called MyDoge. And you can get the MyDoge app, and I use it on my phone as well. Great for payments. Like when I go onto the AMC app to buy movie tickets, and I choose BitPay, and I'm going to pay in cryptocurrency, and I'm going to pay in Dogecoin. Well, guess where it goes to get that Dogecoin? It goes to the MyDoge wallet. And it's seamless. It's just perfectly seamless. Dogecoin goes from here to BitPay, and then BitPay, takes it, and then AMC can either take on their end as the business, they can either take the cryptocurrency or they can take the fiat equivalent, and BitPay is sort of the intermediary. Tesla does it a different way. When I sent Dogecoin to Tesla in order to get the cyber whistle, which is this, the cyber whistle that I have here. When I bought this with Dogecoin, it was a straight transfer from my Doge wallet to Tesla, no intermediary. So on Twitter, what we could see is a direct payment of Dogecoin from Twitter to the content creators twice every month. Just do it in Dogecoin, because then you don't have to worry about what country these people are in, right? The content creators could be all over the world, and then you just have to do Dogecoin. You don't have to worry about different currencies for different countries from around the world. Just do it with Doge. It would just be so easy. Alex talks a little bit about that in this interview, but that's what he said too in this article as well. So, and some of the transmitter licenses that Twitter has received enable the platform to incorporate cryptocurrency payments. That's written right into the transmitter license. And eventually he could have all of them be cryptocurrency enabled. So Elon's saying he doesn't spend a lot of time thinking about cryptocurrency, but yet the transmitter licenses that he's getting enable the platform to incorporate cryptocurrency payments. So you tell me, right? You put two and two together and you're like, wait a minute. So, like I said, I think Elon was not ready to talk about this during that X Spaces yesterday with Kathy Wood. And as Yariel says, yep, he's waiting the right time for the big announcement. Yep, and Toss as well. Doesn't want to pump the price until the time is right. That's exactly what I think too. That's what I think too. So we're waiting. So we're waiting, right? So that's what I wanted to lead with today, because this is all happening right now. And a lot of people are very, very interested in this now, but that's not going to happen until next year, right? And then on top of that, what do we have, right? We've got, oh wait, one more thing to round up this discussion, because guess who was talking about it this morning? It was Ivan. Now, you guys know many times I listen to Ivan in the morning. So I get up in the morning, right? Just want to see the news and what's going on. And Ivan, he does his show from Sweden. And so when I get up, he's already done his show because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning here. But he did right near the end of his thing this morning, he said this.
Now, Elon Musk is going to launch a payment service by mid-2024 within X. I think it's going to be crypto-related. Probably Doge is going to be part of it. Because, again, does Elon Musk like the establishment? No. They're boycotting him. The establishment is boycotting him, removing all ads. They want to kill his company. The establishment is attacking Tesla. They're attacking Tesla in Sweden. They're attacking Tesla globally. And they want to kill Tesla. They want to kill Elon Musk. They kill Elon Musk creations, all of his companies. They want to remove his influence from the world. Okay, that's very important. So, if he wants to create a financial app, will he be able to do it using the banks? Absolutely not. Because if they boycott the adverts, of course they will boycott the whole financial ecosystem that he's building. If you use a bank, they're gonna remove you. They're gonna remove your bank access. Okay? So, will he use the banks? No, he will not use the banks. He will use crypto. I don't see any other way. Because again, he's the only person who is a billionaire in this, high net worth individual of like world status, like world. It's not like he's top 100. He's literally like top 1, top 2. When Tesla shares go up, he's the richest man in the world. When Tesla shares down, then the Louis Vuitton guy is bigger. Okay, so he's the only person of that caliber that speaks his mind freely, and that has consequences. You have the establishment coming after you, and Elon Musk is prepared for that. I see no way.
Doge right there.
Twitter doing a financial app without crypto. I don't see it at all. And will he be using Doge? I think so, because he said that wouldn't it be funny that the meme coin becomes the world reserve currency, like the most accepted currency in the world. I think it's gonna be Doge and Bitcoin in the first iteration. And
he said Doge and Bitcoin, but I'm just like, it's Doge. It's Doge. I thought that was awesome. And I mean, he has so much energy. And however, that wasn't me. That was Ivan saying, I think it's going to be Doge, because that's how Elon is. Doge. So pretty exciting there. But that's not until next year. We got other things coming up sooner. As Raza says, Doge is one of the few cryptos to not pamp yet. That's right. The pamping, right? The pamping, it's not happening. I like the Max Headroom picture you got there. Yeah, not pamping yet. And Ivan will say when it's pamp time for Dogecoin. He will say it. Mars is here. Hey, Mars. How are you? Free speech platform, but you can't talk about Doge. Yeah, I think he's waiting. He's just waiting until the time is right. Now we know we have these Dogecoin to the moon projects, right? We've got the first one, which is right now tentatively scheduled January 8th. That's the ULA Vulcan rocket that's taking Dogecoin to the moon. And then February 12th, that week, is the launch window for the Doge 1 mission, which will have the satellite that's going to be going around the moon, all paid for in Dogecoin. So there's going to be a lot of Dogecoin pamping going on, maybe not by Elon, but by a lot of others in both January and February. We have that coming up. And that's the pamping that's going to be happening. So Doge is just getting ready for that. Doge is getting ready for that. And it's in the 9s here, in the mid 9s, which is it's a good place for Doge. It's also a good time to accumulate if we've got some dips coming. If there are dips along the way, I don't know if that's going to be right now. Talking about this, Santa rally, and this weekend we could see Bitcoin just kind of gradually moving up from 43.7 up into the 44s, maybe coming over 44.3, which is our resistance level on Bitcoin. Again, we've been tracking this. We'll go to the hourly chart. We've been tracking this 44.3 level for quite some time here. We zoom back, and we had that again back here. It hit it on December 5th, came just above on December 8th, thought we could maybe back check it here, retest, and then move up, and it didn't. Instead, it came back down below, came back and retested as resistance, and then moved down. So 44.3 is a key level here. If Bitcoin goes above that, then I think what we'll see is the retest of 44.3 and a move on up to 45. So that's the Bitcoin trading, and that we could see that this weekend. I don't think 48K, 50K is in the cards for this weekend. Not that much of a big rally, but a smaller rally like that will definitely get Dogecoin back up above 9.5 and staying up and maybe even testing 10 cents again. So that would be all realistic moves that we could see for Bitcoin and Dogecoin in the short term. So Dogecoin will pump. Do you think Elon will post a photo of Floki? I don't think so. He's done that before, both for Halloween and for Christmas. And I think Elon's just, again, I think he's waiting his turn, waiting till the time is right. And that would be a false flag, I think. But he's done that before. You don't know. Of course, we'd love to see a new picture of Floki. That'd be awesome. But yeah. Hi, Hayden. How are you? Doge prediction, Feb 24. We'll get into predictions. Tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about portfolios in a video I'm making. And then next week, when we come back, we'll start talking about predictions. Okay. Don't want to get into all the predictions right now. Okay. Hassan, how are you? I think Elon Musk doesn't want to talk about cryptocurrency. He's got lawsuits against him. The lawsuits haven't stopped him from talking about it. Maybe his lawyers are just saying, hey, Elon, like, really cool it. There may be some of that, but I think it's more he's waiting till the time is right. And he doesn't want to let the cat out of the bag, so to speak, or the dog out of the bag in this case, because it's Doge, that he's really planning something big for X payments. That's what I think, and I'm sticking with that. So what else is going on? We do have Robinhood in the news. Robinhood's crypto revenue is the lowest it's been in 3 years, but they are still counting on Dogecoin. They counted on Dogecoin. Oops, didn't mean to do that. They counted on Dogecoin to make a ton of money in 2021. In fact, a third of all of Robinhood's revenue in quarter one and quarter two of 2021 was from Robinhood trading of Dogecoin for Dogecoin. And so Vlad thinks that that is going to come again. They are still a supporter of Dogecoin. They've been talking about adding more cryptocurrencies to their list, and they just haven't added many, which is kind of interesting. I thought that they were really going to kind of open it up, but I think because of the SEC and Gary Gensler talking all about, like, can't be trading unregistered securities, that they're kind of waiting, right? And they took Solana off, and I think there was another one they used to trade as well that they took off because those were questionable by the SEC. They didn't want to get in trouble. So Robinhood is waiting until the whole SEC mess gets figured out. And so with that, well, we've got Billy Marcus getting into it with Gary Gensler, because Gary Gensler then posted, there's a lot of non-compliance in the crypto space. It undermines confidence when so many people have been hurt. and all they can do is stand in line in the bankruptcy court. Further, this can make it hard for good faith actors to compete. So, Gary's talking about non-compliance, and we're all wondering, like, what are you talking about? Non-compliance against what, right? Against the Howey test, which was something that was written up in like 1936, right? Almost 100 years ago. That doesn't have, it doesn't have any relevance today, particularly with these digital assets. And so, and then it's even unclear. And when asked directly by the House Financial Services Committee about is Ethereum a security or not, he wouldn't answer the question. And it was just like, what are you talking about? So Gary Gensler posts this yesterday and has this little video of him like basically saying the same thing. And it's funny, right? You post something on X and guess what? If it's misleading or it's false, guess what happens? It gets community noted. So Gary Gensler gets community noted. It says, crypto companies like Coinbase, a public company that the SEC oversaw the listing of, have been trying to gain clarity on SEC guidance for compliance for the past years. The SEC hasn't taken a clear stance and has relied on regulation by enforcement. So instead of telling people what they can do and can't do, they're just suing Coinbase, suing Ripple, suing whatever. Enforcement for regulation. So that's bad. Well, then Billy responds yesterday, bro, you've never laid out any actual rules. You just hand wave. You're basically useless in every single way. So good for Billy there. Just that's the kind of thing we're fighting, right? But at the same time, the SEC held a phone call with all of the spot Bitcoin ETF hopefuls, or I guess it wasn't just one phone call. I guess they had like back-to-back phone calls, which with each of these Bitcoin spot ETF applicants, because they want to be clear about their applications, that they don't have anything in them that the SEC doesn't like. And time is a ticking. Time is a ticking on them. And the reason time is a ticking on them is something that I talked about in a video back on October 5th. Now, I don't know if you guys were all watching me then, but if you were, I did this video about when I thought the real bull run was going to start. The real bull run was going to start. And it was this video here. The date when the crypto bull market starts. This was from October 5th. And with this video, I laid out what I thought was all the rationale and the date that I picked as January 10th. Now everybody's saying it, right? You hear everyone say, oh, January 10th, January 10th. I was actually the first to call this from everyone in crypto that I know that was like, this is the date that it's going to be. So let me jump out of here and let me play this one part of the video here that's very important, because I said it back then on October 5th, and you can go into my on my YouTube channel and you can hit videos. And you have to scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and scroll down in order to get to this video. And there it is. Because it was over 2 months ago. Back on October 5th, I made this video. Now, the volume's a little shoddy at the beginning of my intro because I didn't have my microphone like quite plugged in right. So that was bad. But the meat of it is all good. The sound is good on the rest of it. But that was like the big video there. Was on October 5th. And what did I say on October 5th? Let me jump out of here and let me play this for you. Yeah, so that was it right there. That was it. I called it back on October 5th. That is the date that the next crypto bull market actually begins. What we've had between then and now is just a lead up. It's just a lead up. And because, look at this chart. Look at the Dogecoin chart. We go back to the daily here. Go back to the daily. And we look back on October 5th when I made this video. Where was Dogecoin? It was at 6 cents. Dogecoin was at 6 cents there. And that's when I said, guys, this is accumulation time. And we had already been accumulating into our Kriss portfolio from the end of July through August through September, right? And here it was, the beginning of October, I still had a little bit left, about $800 left from the whole 10,000, still waiting for another dip. And then what happened? On October 9th, we got the dip. We got this big dip here. And what did Doge do? Doge dipped down below 6 cents, down to 5.8. It actually bottomed down at about 5.6. But what did I do? Well, here is, again, the Kriss DCA portfolio. If I look at Dogecoin and I go and I say, well, let's look and view the transactions. What did I do? On October 9th, I took that remaining $835 and I bought 14,000 Dogecoin at a price of 0.05885. I said, this is it, guys. And then was live streaming that night and said, guys, this is it. This is the bottom. 5885, bought 14,000 Doge. And then in my personal account, I also spent a good chunk of money and bought a good chunk of Doge for myself at that price as well. That's what I was looking at. That was the time. And you see what Doge has done since then. Since that time when we bought, Doge is up 61%. It's gone up higher, up above 10, but to where it is now, that's a 60% return just on that, at that dip. But that doesn't mean Doge is over. Again, this is all pre-bull, in my opinion. The real run is going to happen in 2024. We've got the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We've got Dogecoin to the moon twice. We've got the Bitcoin halvening. We've got X payments. We've got an entire financial market in the United States because we have a presidential election going on that they don't want the markets to go down. The Biden administration is not going to want the markets to go down, right? Because he wants Bidenomics, right? So what are they going to be doing? They're going to be printing money. Print, print, print. That's what's going to be happening in 2024. I'm ready for 2024 to be an awesome year. And Dogecoin has the potential of taking off at a higher rate than you'll see most other cryptos. Doge hasn't done well now. We look at the crypto bubbles, right? Again, I believe in diversification as well. We looked at the crypto bubbles. And here's Dogecoin just hanging out over here. Actually, it's down about 1.5% over the last 24 hours. There's Dogecoin right there, right? But there are others that are doing very well. And I own a number of these. The biggest ones, Optimism finally taking off, Arbitrum 20%, the Graph 15%, and Algorand up over 5%. So I own good chunks of these in my portfolio. My portfolio is doing very well. Now, of course, we just saw Dogecoin went up 60% from October. These are all going up big percentages over the past week because we're seeing a lot of this anticipation of not only the Bitcoin spot ETFs, but a lot of these layer twos. We saw a bunch of layer ones like the week before, and now we see these layer twos, Optimism and Arbitrum following up. And that's typically what we'll see with Dogecoin as well. Dogecoin moves when Dogecoin is ready to move. It doesn't always move with all the other cryptos. So we're going to see Doge go on its own run at its own time. And then the same thing's going to be for SHIB as well. Now, SHIB started to wake up a little over a week ago. And this week, it's been trading pretty well, up a little bit here. But we really have coming up this burning spree, right? Another 8 billion SHIB was burned in a single day. And Satoshi is talking about, as billions of SHIB prepare for roasting, yes, it's in progress, Shibarium transactions worthy of toasting, because those Shibarium transactions all lead to the burn mechanisms for SHIB. I continue to look forward to next week's announcement. So, and this is what Satoshi does, right? He pumps and he pumps and he pumps and he makes an announcement. Many times the announcement isn't so great in the end. And sometimes it trades well, sometimes not. But just like Doge, SHIB will take off and SHIB will do. So I've got a little bag of SHIB just waiting. And I'll sell it and I'll take my profit and I'll roll that into Doge, or if Doge hasn't gone on its big run yet, it'll all go into Doge or other cryptos, because I'm not keeping SHIB for long term. That's just profit when it's time. I'm up about 10%, 15% on my SHIB now. That's okay. But I want 100% or 200%, right? Because we know SHIB can go on those runs. So I just wanted to cover that really quick as well, about SHIB and some of these other coins we can talk about. So that's what's going on. It's a lot, and a lot of anticipation and excitement across crypto. Particularly, again, if you look back, and what I called on the daily chart was really October 19th, right? That was kind of the beginning of when, and you can even look at your own portfolios and you can say the date when you started to see your portfolios go up. It's October 19th. You can look at your own portfolio and you can see it. On October 19th, that's when Dogecoin started to take off. And people were still saying, oh, I can't wait till Dogecoin dips down into the fives again. And I was saying, guys, that was it. That was the dip, was there back on October 9th. And what did Dogecoin do? It starts trading up. We get the golden cross on this dip that we had. That dip was on November 21st, but that dip only went down to like 7.1, didn't even drop below 7 cents. We were in this upward channel. Dogecoin continued up to 10 cents. So that's how Doge traded. But again, we have got just because you didn't get Doge back then, maybe, hopefully you did, you got some then. Maybe you've been DCAing and buying all along. But 2024 is going to be so much bigger that 9 cents is going to look like peanuts. In my opinion, it's going to look like peanuts. So that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. And of course, thank you, Richard. Always remember, 1 Doge equals 1 Doge. Yep. Hey, Curtis. Too many people short directly after Elon says anything about Doge. And yep, we see that when the price spikes up too much. I much prefer to see Dogecoin go up on more of a steady climb, like we've seen here, than this big rise here when then it gets shorted down. If Dogecoin would just go on this gradual rise, it'll be much better off. But when it goes on these big spikes like this, it just gets shorted back down. Time and time again. A Doge ETF, I don't think so. The banks don't really care about Doge. Only Elon does, and us, of course. I mean, if Dogecoin became like the main currency on X, who knows, right? Who knows? But right now, yep, Kurtz, January 10th. Daryl says, I hope Dogecoin will go up soon. Again, we've got January 8th, the ULA Vulcan launch, Dogecoin to the moon. And then in February, right now, the week of like February 12th is the launch window for the Doge 1 mission. Those are good things. And Sandy says, what crypto comment did Elon say? I covered this a little bit ago. Elon said he doesn't spend a lot of time thinking about cryptocurrency. That's what Elon said. That's the fake out. I think it's the fake out. He just didn't want to get into it with Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood was asking him about Bitcoin and crypto, and Elon just wasn't interested in talking about cryptocurrency. So that shut her up. And then she pivoted over and talked about Tesla again during X Spaces yesterday. But that was really interesting. Hey, Phil, how are you? Well, Mr. Blaine, how are you? Canceled my X, sold my Doge. Now, you told me that you had sold your Doge already, like a month or more ago, but yet you keep coming back. You keep coming back. So anyway, good luck with all of your investments. I hope you do well. You don't have to badmouth Doge and all the comments on my videos anymore, because now I've got it here that you sold your Doge. You had said it before, but now I've got it here in a video. You sold your Doge. So good luck to you. But I know you can't resist. I know you can't resist commenting on my videos. So everybody, when you see a screaming eagle comment, you know who it is. My good buddy Blaine. Good luck with that. Bonk. Hey, Raza. I just call you Max Headroom. Bonk. Here's my take on bonk. And I said this the other day, and I'm sticking with it. On crypto, we're going bonk. And here's what I say about bonk. Here's my bonk chart. As you guys know, I used to own bonk. I bought bonk when it listed on Coinbase here on the 14th of December. That was just over a week ago. And I bought bonk at 16. That's 000016. Bonk moved up. And then on Friday the 15th, it got listed on, I got to get myself out of the way here. Here we go. Sorry, Rosa, that's your question. So right here. So this is where I bought it, right above my head here at 16, right? And then on the 15th of December, Binance listed bonk, had a little spike up, started to come down, retests a little bit, and then I sold it at 30. So I got about $4,000 profit there on about, well, almost $4,000 on an $8,000 buy. There's about $8,000 of bonk that I bought. So it was almost like a 50% gain. Well, no, 100% gain, but it was a little less than that. I'm trying to remember all the numbers. It was a little less than 8,000 I bought, and then the profit was almost 6,000. That's how it ended up to be. So with that, I sold at 30 because I've seen this happen before. We talked about it on live stream, I think a Monday night, because I was comparing this to how Pepe charted when Pepe got listed on Binance. There was a big sell-off, and Pepe has never recovered to that price that it was when Binance listed it. And I don't think bonk is going to be up to 30 again either. And I said that, I'm sticking with it. I sold my bonk, took my little bit of profit, and I put it into something else. I've split it actually between, well, I had the Celestia before. That was the other $8,000. And then with what I had from this, which ended up being a total of about 12 grand, I split into Superverse and Spell, I think, and Seamless. So trying some other things. Again, this is a small percentage of my overall portfolio, just trying some other things. But with Bonk, that's what I think is going to happen. Now, some think Bonk is going to come back up well above 30 and it's going to take off and drop another zero somewhere. I don't see that happening. Now, Bonk may be able to sustain this level here and not drop any more just because of its use on Solana, with the phone, the Solana Sega phone and other things that they may be doing with Bonk, but I don't see any big runs. So that's my take on Bonk. Is there hope for Jasmy? Absolutely, Toss. I am totally on the Jasmy train, and actually Jasmy has been trading up. We've seen Jasmy go up in the past week here from down here at 0056 up to where it is now. It's a 13% rise, right? Pretty good. Jasmy's just waiting. Jasmy's just waiting. So I own a little chunk of Jasmy as well. And in our Kriss Pax portfolio, our Jasmy that we bought at 003, and the price is now 006, we're up 75% on that Jasmy that we bought. We've got 125,000 Jasmy here. That's pretty good. So you can make money on Jasmy. And Jasmy is one of those that has not gone on a huge run yet in this bull cycle. And we've seen Solana go on a huge run, Injective go on its huge run. We've seen it, but Jasmy hasn't yet. So Jasmy's just waiting, just waiting. This portfolio is awesome, though. I love it. All primed for a huge 2024. And then we'll sell it, and I will distribute the Doge profits to you guys. I will enjoy giving away that Doge. I will enjoy it. Can't quite get to 9.5 yet. Can't quite get there. We're close. Can't quite get there. Hey, Rob, 100% spot on. He completely evaded. Would you want to tip your hand if you were about to launch a disruptive payment service involving the underdoge? Exactly. Exactly. Elon's always 10 steps ahead of everybody else. Always is. And when he says things, he means them. Luna Classic. Hamid. Lunk. Not a fan. I'll just tell you that right off the bat. Not a fan. There's no project. There's nothing here. There's a big community that's left over, a bunch of bag holders. And look at this pump that we had here, the end of November. And it's just all going to just fall right back down. If I go to the weekly chart, you'll see it's just not, you're just not going to see it recover. There's going to be little pumps and it's just going to come right back down, I think. So, and this is the remake of the Luna Classic. You can even go to, I think one of these others shows a longer term. Don't remember which one it was. Is it Bybits? Yeah, it's Bybits. That includes Luna Classic before the big Luna dump. And you'll see what Luna Classic is now. It's nothing compared to the big dump that we had in May of 2022. If you remember when this thing was dropping, why was it dropping? Because Dogecoin was minting Luna tokens to stop the bleeding on the stable coin. Totally inflated the number of tokens. So that was crazy. Yeah, and a lot of people got wrecked too. Big time wrecked on Luna. And this was it. Boom. And since then, it's just nothing. So now if you bought Luna now, let's go to the 2-hour chart here. If you bought it now at 0.0016, can you make money? Yeah, you probably could. Next big run, you could probably like swing trade this or something if you know what's happening. But some people thinking that it's going to go back up to these to the pre-Luna crash. No, because there's just so many tokens now that you're not going to see Luna Classic at $1. Just not going to happen. So that's my take on Luna and Luna Classic. I mean, they made a Luna 2. They want to try and revive the Luna ecosystem. It's like, nah, I'm not touching any of that. Can people make money on it if you hit it at the right time? But there's nothing going on with it. So nothing going on with it. When Doge all-time high? Well, Ryan, that is the $1 million question, isn't it? Right now, the all-time high was May 6th, 2021, 2 days before Saturday Night Live. That's when the Doge 74-cent previous all-time high was. So, who knows? There's so many factors that go into that, such as X payments that we've been talking about tonight. So we'll see. Hey, Wall Street pickers, if you hold Bitcoin, you are the 1% of the 1%. You have no idea what is coming soon. Yeah, we were talking about it too. Bitcoin is going to go crazy. All of crypto is going to go crazy. This could be outside of the initial two other cases, right? The initial launch of Bitcoin, right? Back in 2010, if you bought a bunch of Bitcoin then and you held on to it, right? You made a lot of money. And then right before the 2017 run of Bitcoin that went up to 20,000, if you had bought some leading up to that and sold at the top, which some people did, it made millions of dollars. Yeah. This is the third opportunity. So, and it's not only going to be Bitcoin this time. It's going to be a lot of these other cryptos. It's going to go crazy. Doge to $2 could be, Omar. We could see that. It could get crazy. Yeah, a lot of people got wrecked on Luna. Any thoughts on Neutron? Somebody asked that about Neutron on Cryptos R Us. Was that this morning? I thought it was this morning. And George talked about it. I've never looked at the Neutron chart. MEXC, KuCoin, I can't even buy it. It's not trading on any of the of any platforms where I can buy it. So here's Neutron on MEXC. It came up to about $1.34 and has dropped down to $1.05. So that was a big sell-off we just had there with Neutron. Let me go to the 4-hour chart, see what we're looking at. Yeah, kind of went on a big run here between 10th of December up to 16th of December for that week. Maybe it's solidifying itself at a new level here until the next run up. It's kind of what it's looking like. Looks like we have a good support like right here at about $1.03, just staying above $1. Yeah, we could just draw that line here at $1. And that would be support line. So if Neutron stays above $1, then we could see it move up. Let's go to the daily. I don't even know how long this thing has been trading. Not long. Since October. So yeah, this is an all-time high right here at $1.40 that it just had here on the 16th of December. So if you didn't get in down here when it was like 25 cents, right here. Again, you probably can make some money on it, but probably not a 4x like it's already done in the past few months. That's kind of what I see. Quick look at that. Bum, 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 bum. Doge at $2 sounds good. ETF, 10th of January, billions will pour in. It's just a lot of money. Now we could have seen already a lot of those big players buying Bitcoin. And a lot of the reason that Bitcoin is up here between 43 and 44K, again, let's go out to the weekly and you see this big run up here, right? This buying that we had here from, again, October 19th, right up, are the big boys buying their Bitcoin. Because the way a spot ETF works is, it's a, let's say BlackRock's. They have to have one Bitcoin in their wallet that represents each Bitcoin or worth of Bitcoin that somebody buys in that ETF. So if all of the holders of that ETF add up to 100 Bitcoin, they need to have 100 Bitcoin in their wallet. And that is audited. They have to have it. We think that they have been pre-buying Bitcoin because they wanted it at a lower price, right? So if BlackRock was buying Bitcoin down here at 30K, and now it's up in the 40s, the people who are buying the spot ETFs, right, here in the 40s, well, BlackRock's already made a big profit on that Bitcoin that they might have bought down here at 30. So good for them if they did that. I mean, look at these candles. This is the weekly chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive weeks of green candles on the Bitcoin chart. What do you think of that? 8 consecutive weeks. I think that was accumulation by those companies that have filed those spot Bitcoin ETF applications, accumulating the Bitcoin. Because they know when the spot ETFs are approved, Bitcoin's going to take off again in price. So accumulating there, that's pretty smart. I mean, look at that. That's just, to me, that just looks like big money coming into Bitcoin. So yeah. And again, on the daily, we saw the golden cross back here. That was 29th of October. The price of Bitcoin there at the golden cross was 34K, and it hasn't seen 34K since. Bunch of people saying, oh, Bitcoin, it's going to crash, right? Bitcoin's going to come down. It's going to retest 30K, go back into the 20s. Not if the BlackRocks, the Fidelities, ARK Invests, Vanguards, all these big institutions are buying Bitcoin. As we were tracking, this was the channel, and we were tracking this all through November. The price of Bitcoin just kept going up, kept going up. That is accumulation right there, guys. And they're not selling. They are not selling because they need to have Bitcoin in their wallets to back up all the money that's going to come in to their ETFs. That's what it is. Spell coin. I bought some Spell, Hassan, because it was just one of those tokens that was on Coinbase that I was like, you know, this thing could actually do something. Spell could actually do something. It had this big run up here, the end of November, 0004, spiked up to 0007. I got in at about 55. I don't have my I don't have it on this chart. I think that's where I got in. I think it was 55. I have it all in my little spreadsheet here. Let's see what I have. Spell token. Again, yep. 000555. About 10 million spell tokens, $5,500. So I'm up about 10% right now at this price. Again, that was bonk proceeds that went into buying this. And this I'm going to hold. I think at this point, because I was calculating it with bonk, right? Because I made a profit of like almost $6,000 on that bonk trade in just one day. But I'm going to have to pay a short-term capital gains tax. Yes, taxes. Kriss is going to talk about taxes again. I have to pay a short-term capital gains tax, which is about 10 to 15% more than the long-term capital gains. So out of that $6,000, let's say, that's about $600 to $800 additional in taxes I'm going to have to pay than I normally would if it was a long-term fight, if I'd held on to it. But again, I didn't think bonk was going to maintain that price, so I sold it. But I've got to pay the tax. So now I'm looking at all the dates when I bought all my crypto, and I'm like, I'm not going to sell any of them short term anymore, unless I see some real negative news of something that it's going to drop something, right? But now it's all in anticipation of Bitcoin spot ETFs, Dogecoin to the moon, like all of this stuff coming up in 2024. And I'm like, I'm on board. Plus all the blockchain activities, all the games, like IMX is going to take off again even more. All the gaming that's coming on, play to earn, TradeFi, it's all going to be huge. So I'm ready for all of that. So I'm just chilling with what I have right now. But Spell is one that I think we could have a huge gain on. Again, Spell token used to trade all the way up here at 2 cents. 2 cents. And now it's at 0.0006. What would be that percentage gain from here if it even went up there? 3,000%. I don't think Spell token is going to go up that high personally, but it was worth throwing a little at it just to see. Now, if you go to Spell token, you go to Abracadabra and you see what you can't use it in the United States, but around the rest of the world, yes. So I wanted to be on board with that. So I bought Spell token. Yeah, so we'll see, Hassan. We'll see how it goes. I hope you have some too and you're loaded up. I hope it does well for both of us. Good question, Curtis. Are the ETFs going to take some volatility out of crypto? They could. They could. Big institutional money, right, could take a lot of the volatility out of Bitcoin and possibly crypto, except for one thing. And that is Bitcoin will continually become decreasing in its supply that's available to trade, right? And so eventually you're going to have the people who want the real Bitcoin, not the ETF, right? The laws of supply and demand, Curtis, right? Laws of supply and demand, what's that going to mean? Decreasing supply with an increasing demand as Bitcoin becomes even more and more accepted. Cryptocurrencies become more and more accepted and people want Bitcoin. The price is still going to go up. It's not going to stabilize, Omar. It's not going to stabilize. In the long run, the price of Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. Yes, we still may have bear markets. 2026 could be a bear market, right, into 2027. 4-year cycles, right? If it stays on the 4-year cycles, we could see that. So, Adam asks, the article by Zig on Robinhood about Elon using Doge as payment tips on X Twitter in the future. Said Elon wants payment system by or in 2024. Yes. And again, the article on that was before we had this Cathie Wood Elon discussion on X Spaces yesterday, where Elon said, yes, they are predicting they're launching payment services on X by mid-2024, but no mention of cryptocurrencies. But all of those other things we've talked about through the rest of the stream have been, and particularly what Ivan on Tech said this morning on his stream, Elon doesn't want to mess with the banks. He is against the financial institutions. He's against all institutions that are trying to get these other companies to pull their ads off of X Twitter. Just battling Elon right and left. And Elon's not going to want that. The cryptocurrency is the way to get around that, the use of crypto. And he's got state transmitter licenses that include the use of cryptocurrency, like I showed earlier in the stream. To me, that all leads to crypto on X Twitter as payments. Now, if they could be payments to content creators, like I said earlier, they could also be payments from one individual to another, which Linda Yaccarino was talking about. She's the CEO of X Twitter, and she had this slide deck that had this thing about like sending money from one account to another account right on X to pay for something. Didn't say what that would be, though. What is that mode of currency that's used? To me, it would make a lot of sense for it to be Doge, because Doge has fast transaction times, has low fees, doesn't need a layer 2, isn't skimming any profits or anything off of it. Doge is just Doge. That's all it is. There's no company that owns it. There's no overhead, nothing. The devs who work on the code of Doge all get paid by tips, right? The foundation, making money in different ways. That's how it works. There's no overhead with Dogecoin, just a minimal fee. To transfer a ton of Dogecoin costs like 0.01 Doge or 0.02 Doge, which is nothing. It's not like you're seeing with these fees now for Bitcoin and ETH. Bitcoin now, it costs more to send Bitcoin than it does to ETH. The fees for Bitcoin are more than the ETH gas fees. Do you believe that? And it's all layer 2 or Lightning Network. Well, Lightning Network. Well, how do you think Lightning Network makes their money, right? They get their fees. So, yeah, Doge is the answer. And Elon knows that, and he's said it before in the past. So that's why I think Doge. And Ivan said it this morning. And Ivan didn't talk to me first. He believes it too. And he's not even like a big Doge guy. He just knows cryptocurrency. So, yeah, Jose, you're going to have to wind back. You're going to have to wind back, right? I've got DVR enabled. You can scroll back, or you can always watch the whole thing again, because as soon as we end the stream, it'll be a video on my channel, and you can watch it again. For anybody who wants to, again, see what I said. Because again, like I said in this video here, right, back on October 5th, I called when the real bull run starts. And what we've had from October 19th to today is just the ramp up. This is just the beginning. The bull run starts, like I said in this video here. And again, I said this back on October 5th, before you heard all these other people now saying January 10th. I said it back on October 5th. And if you can find somebody else who said it before October 5th, that all of the Bitcoin spot ETFs were going to be approved on January 10th. No one was saying that. I saw it. I saw what was happening. And I put it in my video, and there it is. So I'm just saying. And what was I doing in early October before then? Accumulating cryptocurrency so that I was ready. Now, I still have some old cryptocurrency that I was still down on. Some of my old Harmony One, which is still, my average is still in the red because I bought a bunch of it when Harmony was way up in price. But I'm in profit now on almost everything else. I think I still have some Loop Ring that is still under a little bit. I had Optimism that was under a little bit, but guess what Optimism decided to do today? Well, we saw it on the bubbles, right? Optimism was the biggest gainer of the day, like 31% out of the top 100 cryptos. OP was number one. And what did Optimism do today? And again, this is just like a layer two that I'm interested in. Go to the 4-hour chart, and that's what you see. Boom. Boom. So this light blue line here, this is my average cost, $2.45. Like I bought it back in March. Just blew it out of the water today. So in my opinion, again, this is just how I trade, right? I don't own just Dogecoin because I also support other blockchain technologies, other coins, because there's a lot of opportunity there. And Optimism I saw as an opportunity. I think it was too early, right, in seeing it. Could have waited a couple months and bought it lower. Like $1.58 would have been better than $2.45, but I'm now in the green on that as well. Yeah, I'm just saying, Toss. I'm just saying. So that's why I diversify. Again, Doge is over here, still down a little bit over the last 24 hours. But Arbitrum, the Graph, Optimism, Algorand, I own all those. I have a little bit of Matic. Matic finally starting to move. All of these things are all part of a portfolio that even on days when Doge is down, you've got others that are up. And I can feel good about myself. Yeah, I've got that Optimism, and look at that. That's pretty good. And it's still going up. Still going up. Now up 35%. Awesome. Awesome. Hey, the Dancing Doge. Awesome. We're getting close. Oh, it hit 950, it looks like. I missed it. That was our target for the stream right there. I had that yellow line at the beginning of the stream, and I said, that's our target for the stream, 950. Ha! Ha! January 10th is your birthday. Well, Adam, it's going to be a great day, I think. It's going to be a great day. Jason, welcome. You're going to have to rewatch. Yes, you are. This was a great one. And I know it's over an hour long, but this was worth it. All good stuff, especially the first 40 minutes. All good stuff. Yep, I'm just saying. The Doge launches. We covered those earlier, Jose. Again, when you rewatch, you will get it all. But again, 2 Doge launches, one of them in January, one in February. ULA Vulcan, January 8th right now is the tentative date. That's the one that is taking the literal Dogecoin in the moon box and putting it on the moon. Dogecoin on the moon. That's the first one, January 8th. The second one is the Doge 1 project, which has, or the Doge 1 mission that has the satellite that's going to orbit around the moon, all paid for in Dogecoin. That's now the week of February 12th is the launch window. We covered this the other night on live stream, and the reason they have to wait there is because of the rotation of the Earth and the moon. They've got to wait till it gets back more in line. So that's what that's about. Let's do it. You'll diversify once you get your million. 927K, you're close. Waiting for those other dips, right, Jason? Thanks, Isaac. Appreciate it. If Doge goes to all-time high before Bitcoin does, I plan to convert my Doge to BTC, then to USDT and sell it when BTC does all-time high. So I would look at the purchase price of your Doge. Again, you have to factor in taxes, FAMPs. Again, depending on where you live. Let's say you're in the United States. That's my assumption, right? If your Doge is less than a year old and you sell it, then it's a short-term capital gains tax, and you're going to be paying 10 to 15% more on the tax. So factor that in. Otherwise, good plan, but then if you're going to rotate it into BTC, and then you're going to sell the BTC, again, look at the taxes. Again, I know you guys don't want to hear taxes. It's like, there goes Kriss talking about taxes again, but they're real. And it's still on record that the IRS has 87,000 new agents this year, and they're going to be looking at those who are claiming crypto on their taxes. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Can someone explain Bitcoin and Dogecoin, break down to Satoshis? Well, Dogecoin is just Doge. There's no Satoshis with Doge. Doge is just Doge. Satoshis are like 1/10,000th of a Bitcoin, something like that. I don't even know off the top of my head because I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. But it takes a lot of Satoshis to equal one Dogecoin. So, and I don't know what that is. I guess I could take a quick, we can do a quick Google search. How many Satoshis in one Dogecoin? See what it says. One Dogecoin is 204. 204 Satoshis in one Dogecoin. Right? Here's the calculator on Wallet Investor. One Dogecoin is 210 sats today. So the price of one Satoshi is 0.000451. Well, it actually should be 4435. It should be. I don't know why this is, because it's a percentage of the actual Bitcoin. So it shouldn't be 451. I don't know why that says that. So yeah, 210 sats in one Doge. It's just easier to use Dogecoin. You want a cup of coffee, it's like 3 Doge, right? Or whatever. I guess well, that'll be 3 Doge when it's $1, right? When Doge hits $1, it's like 3 Doge for a cup of coffee, right? Satoshis? I don't know. Anyway, you can go to walletinvestor.com and you can see the converter there. That's what I'm looking at. What else is going? Doge will surpass BNB. It could. Absolutely could. Let's go. I'll diversify when Doge doesn't exist anymore. Doge is around forever. There's no stopping Dogecoin. Now, UR Voices, you're correct. January 10th could be a sell the news event. And we've seen that. We've also seen it with Dogecoin too. Like that April 20th Doge Day is always horrible. You've got a lot of shorters ready. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot of shorters ready for Bitcoin on January 10th. And they're going to short the hell out of Bitcoin. Because they're going to think, like I am, that all of these big institutions have already been accumulating Bitcoin. And when they get approved, they're not going to be buying more Bitcoin. But you've got the retailers who are going to be buying Bitcoin thinking the price is going to go up. But then you get the shorters coming in, borrowing a bunch of Bitcoin from the exchanges and dumping them, and the price goes down. We could see that because we've seen that kind of trading before happen. So yeah. Jason's looking for Elon and X integration until he thinks of selling any Doge. Me too. Me too. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for $1 personally, unless it just explodes to $1. If there's X integration of Doge, which Doge could go on this crazy run, but I'll probably be scalping some along the way, taking little bits of profits. That's how I'm looking at it. So you're welcome. It could rise with bull market and Bitcoin events, take some profits. Yeah, so I would sell, probably sell some Doge before $1. I probably will. Again, I still have Doge from the original 2-cent Doge that I bought in January of 2021. So, and I did not sell when Doge was at 74 cents back in May of 2021 because we all thought Doge was going to $1 and it would be foolish to sell at 60, 70 cents when it's going to $1. Everyone was convinced of that except Barry Silver, who shorted the hell out of Doge on FTX of all platforms. He used FTX to short Dogecoin. And he was right. But karma's a bitch, and it caught up to Barry. So I don't feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him. Why would you want dollars once you're able to spend Doge? Exactly, Mars. And especially if you bought Doge at a low price. I mean, think about it. I want to take some profit. I want to enjoy like the profit. But I also want to spend Doge. Just think, if Dogecoin was $1 and you bought it for 10 cents, just think you have 10 times the buying power for that Doge. Just think about it. So that cup of coffee, let's say it's $3, right? And you pay 3 Doge for that cup of coffee. But you bought that Doge when it was only 10 cents. That means you just bought that coffee for 30 cents, not $3. That's the power that Dogecoin has. Just think about that. It's not a $3 cup of coffee for you. 30 cents. If you buy it 10 cents and then Doge price is $1 when you make that purchase. That's the power. So yes, I will always have Dogecoin. I will never sell all of my Dogecoin, but I'm going to take some off the table and enjoy some of the profits because I got some other stuff I want to do. I would like to get a Tesla Model X. That would be very nice. And if I can pay for that with Dogecoin, I will do that. And if it's Dogecoin that I bought at 2 cents and the price is $1 for Dogecoin when I make that purchase, just think of the buying power of that. That's like stealing a Tesla. It's almost like stealing. That's the power of Dogecoin. I'm just saying. Like Toss likes to quote me on. I'm just saying. And again, we're just getting started. We're just getting started. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, what a savage Barry was. And that's why I'm thinking Ethereum Classic may not go on a big run, because Barry was the one that was pumping it before, but now he's got other problems. And here's Doge now back over 9.5 cents. Look at it go. Aren't Kriss Pack's streams great? And the price just goes up. Just goes up. Hey, Rodrigo, you think I should sell my Bitcoin and buy ADA, Matic, HBAR, and Graph? Just seeing all this token going up. Bitcoin's still chilling. You have to make that call. I can't do that for you. But then you don't have to sell all your Bitcoin, right? Again, I always say, look, why don't you sell a little bit of it so you can be in some of these other projects? And if some of these other projects go up at a bigger percentage, then you're in them. Again, this is why I believe in diversification, because as I was accumulating crypto through 2023, I was buying into some of these layer twos like Optimism and Arbitrum because I believed in their project. I got into Optimism a little too early. The price, I should have waited for the price to settle down a little more. So I was a little too early on that one, but now I'm in profit. So I feel good about that. But yeah, you can just take a percentage of that Bitcoin, like maybe 20% of it, right? And move that into some other projects. And then how long ago, Rodrigo, did you buy that Bitcoin? Again, thinking you're in the United States, you have to pay a tax on that profit. You always have to factor that in if you want to start moving money around. Because again, it's a 10 to 15% extra hit on taxes if you've owned that Bitcoin for less than a year, because it's a short-term capital gain. So that's over 1 year now. Long-term capital gain, then you're probably good then. Take a little profit on the Bitcoin, diversify a little bit, but don't sell all the Bitcoin. That's what I would do. I can't tell you what to do, but just think about that. What is the graph? Isaac asks. So the graph is a very unique project. I mean, look at the graph running up today, just having a big run. So on any project, you can go on to CoinMarketCap, right? And you can say GRT. You can look it up, and there's the graph. And it'll load all the data. CoinMarketCap tells you where you can buy it, all the exchanges. And there's news about it. So there's always news going on. So you can always read some news, but you can also go to their website. So you go to their website and you can read about what the graph does. Accessing the world's blockchain data. So this is the only crypto project I know that really acts as a data repository. Ensures your application's uptime, keep its data flowing 24/7 with a globally distributed network of contributors. Create groundbreaking applications without needing to run your own data server. So you can read all about how the graph works, but it just, to me, this just looked like a project that was worth investing in crypto. So I bought some of this, the graph, and I'm up pretty generously on my graph purchase. If I go to the daily, I bought it at 1362. Again, should have waited longer, but I was buying right here in March. That's when I bought. That's when I had some funds. I was buying some back in March. So that's where I bought. And now up nice. Again, look at your own portfolios and what was the price, what was the value of your portfolio on October 19th, and then compare it to today. Because almost every cryptocurrency from October 19th to today has gone up This is 145% for the graph from October 19th to today. 145%. So, should have used a crystal ball. Oh, if only. Then I wouldn't be sitting here talking with you guys. If I had a crystal ball. But we're having fun. And here's Doge just hanging out now above 9.5 cents. Very good. Again, on Kriss Pack's stream, right? Green candles. Green candles. Oh, and Mars has some Tesla and some AMC. Yep. That's good. All right, gang. That's where we are. Look, we have a Christmas weekend coming. People think that the trading is going to be good. Here we see Bitcoin actually going up over 44,000 right now. Look at this move. So that's good. It looks like crypto is moving up tonight. We'll see tomorrow. I'll make a video tomorrow. I'm going to talk about portfolios. And then we have Christmas. So I'm off until Tuesday or Wednesday. I will definitely be live Wednesday at 5 o'clock. You can join my next live stream then. And again, I may have a video or two between tomorrow and Tuesday, the day after Christmas. We'll see how things go. Crypto's looking very good. And we have great things to look forward to as this bull market. From its initial beginnings here, again, going back to October 19th to January 10th, when things could really take off. Again, it could be a buy sell, right? The rumor versus the news. So be careful with that. But I think there's going to be enough excitement around Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies at that time. I don't think there's going to be a big crash on January 10th. I just don't see that happening. So hope you're all well, and have a great holiday. And we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.